The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. Glory to you, O Lord. Jesus went to the district of Tyre. He entered a house and wanted no one to know about it, but he could not escape notice. Soon a woman whose daughter had an unclean spirit heard about him. She came and fell at his feet. The woman was Greek, a Syrophoenician by birth, and she begged him to drive the demons out of her daughter. He said to her, "Let the children be fed first, for it is not right to take the food of the children and throw it to the dogs." She replied and said, "Lord, even the dogs under the table eat the children's scraps." Then he said to her, "For saying this, you may go. The demon has gone out of your daughter." When the woman went home, she found the child lying in bed and the demon gone. The Gospel of the Lord. So there are two really incredible things that happen in this fairly short passage from the book of Genesis. Two things that I think are very crucial to our understanding of not only who God is, but who we are and how we are. First, we see the work of Adam, the work of humanity, at work helping God name each of these creatures, all of the things that God has made. We don't just stand back and let God do his thing. God, from the very beginning, chapter 2 of Genesis, invites us to take part in his work. That's not nothing. And then when we see that that's as awesome as that is, it's still not fulfilling. We are given our counterparts, Eve, the great mother of all. And we see that she's not taken from Adam's head or Adam's feet, but from his side. I think it's incredible that we are made to literally stand side by side and not one over the other. And I can't help but think this is proof enough of original sin. Because I just look at the world, I look at all of the ways in which we have used our plans and our schemes to get ahead of not just people of the opposite sex, but of each other. All of our brothers and sisters are a means to an end in some ways. As much as we want to force it, it never seems to work out the way that God intended, the way that we keep striving for, which is, I think, the proof that there is something there that we are lacking. This standing side by side in peace, being created together, taking part in that wonderful creative act of the Lord. And it all comes down to that fateful day when Adam and Eve ate of that fruit. And remember what the serpent told them. This isn't part of our reading. It comes a little bit later. But he told them, if you eat this fruit, you will be like God. Well, if what I think is right, then they already were like God. They already were like God and taking part in that wonderful creative act. So what is it that that serpent was tempting them with? Something they already had. And I think that's so true for us in our own lives today. The things that draw us further and further apart is silly when we stop and think about it. It's silly when we stop and think that there's so much hatred and division in our world, so much suffering out across the street from right here. It's silly. It's, in a sense, meaningless because the solution seems to be so easy, and yet it's the hardest thing that we can do, to truly open our hearts and allow the love of God, the love of Christ, to flow through us and to truly change the world.